I counted JBL and Undertaker, both of them looked at me like what? That close.
So you had some really interesting moments with Christian during the 9 years that you were there and he was there. There's one that had to do with Teddy Long, right?
Oh yeah, this one was kind of funny. I had just started up there with WWE, and I'd worked several matches because I was the head ref, so they plugged me in kind of right away. And so I was going to do one of Christian's matches, and he saw Teddy and I go way back, and we were great friends, and we hung out all the time. And right before I started there, Vince had gone on a rant, and he'll do that every now and then. He'll get all the refs in there, and he'll see something that he doesn't particularly like, and the refs will seem to be the guys that get the brunt of the promo first, And he went evidently on a rant about guys not kicking out on time, the 1, 2, and it's so close, guys just cutting it too close. Mm-hmm. And that's really an art to do it, and you have to be comfortable with the guys that you're working with. Yeah. Time that, or you look ridiculous. And you'll see a lot of times guys, especially they got so many refs now that not all of them can be working every night, and especially now with COVID, they can't be working every night. So you'll see sometimes those close pulls that just don't look right. That's a timing thing of working with guys. But anyway, Vince went on a rant, and he said, if they don't kick out, then count them out. And he pulled Teddy aside because I think Teddy was one of the people that he saw something and it made him mad. So he goes, Teddy, if they do that, count them out. So it wasn't a week later. He's out there working with Christian, and Christian went to cut it close, and Teddy counted him out. There was big heat now. And so now I show up, and I've got his match, and me and Teddy are hanging out, old buddies laughing and joking, and Christian's like, oh, man, I hope he doesn't do the same thing to me. So he pulled me off the side and says, okay, now, Nick, it's going to be real close. I'm like, okay, brother, I got you. And once I worked with him, and I worked with him a few times, and to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you where that happened or who he was even working with. Mm-hmm. But I just remember that it was the Teddy Long thing, man, mm-hmm. and it was that close count and I know because that's hard to do. Mm-hmm. And you have to really trust the guys you're working with to know that guy's going to count, because if for some reason he don't hear you, or he forgot, or he's thinking about what he's going to do next. I mean, I've had all of those scenarios happen to me. Mm-hmm. And you got to count it if they don't kick out. And then, but what's weird is when you do count it, the look on everybody's face when you do it's like, well, what do we do now?
Yeah.
We don't do a lot now. It's over.
Yeah. From your 40 years in the business as a referee, did it get to the point where there's like a title change because of a change of a count or anything like that?
Well, it come close a couple of times. And there was two different instances that I couldn't tell you the first match. I could tell you the second one, or one where I counted it, and it was so close that I couldn't actually pull it, and I hit the 3. But as soon as I hit it, I jump up and go, no, you got that close. There's a 2, and I'm going to this big dramatic thing. Yeah. And Dallas Page saw me do that one time and made it part of the finish. And it wasn't part of the finish before. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. He goes, oh, that's brilliant. Let's use it, but it was an accident.
Yeah.
And I was working on the road one time with JBL and the Undertaker. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a televised, it was a house show. It was over in, it might have been in Japan somewhere. Mm-hmm. I know it was overseas. But JBL actually took a tombstone. And I guess they were going for the deal like Austin and those guys did, where you hit the guy when they finish 2 or 3 times and they kick out. But mm-hmm. he hit him with that tombstone, and it was so close that he kicked out. I didn't really think he was going to kick out, so I wasn't really trying to pull it. Mm-hmm. But if I'd had to, I wouldn't have been able to, because it was that close, and I counted it. And when I counted it, JBL and Undertaker, both of them looked at me like, what? That close. I dipped down into the well and pulled it back out again.
Yeah. Now, was there ever a time where someone was supposed to take the fall, but they kicked out before you got to 3 and they were supposed to stay down?
No, that usually if somebody's got a problem with doing that, they usually solve that before you get to that point.
Gotcha.
If
Yeah.
they don't solve it before you get to that point, then usually it's a storyline that they're trying to even convince the boys that it's, because they'll do that sometimes too. They'll try to convince everybody in the locker room, and sometimes that will happen. But and there was one time Booker didn't kick out, but he was hurt, and I didn't realize how hurt he was. And I thought for sure he was going to kick out, but he didn't. And I pulled the count. I was like, oh. And then he was working with Matt Hardy. He was in Atlantic City, New Jersey, in a house show. And I jumped in and I pushed Matt back in the corner. I wasn't sure what to do. So I went and I dove down and checked on Booker. Now I know he's really hurt. And I don't know how bad. So I gave the signals, and to get people to come down and look. And he says, I can make it to the back, but I can't do it. I can't go. So I said, all right. So I just gave him a 10 count, counted him out, raised Matt's hand, because I'd already stopped. I already pulled the count. And everybody was like, what?
Yeah.
But at that point, everybody also knew that he was really hurt.
Yeah.
So I just tried to pull whatever I could out of it. And he was able to go home. He didn't have to go home, but he did something to his back that night. A couple of months.
Yeah. Is there another X signal you remember calling during the match?
No, not. I mean, I'm sure it's happened several times. Different people in mostly house shows, but usually at TVs, it doesn't happen a lot because back in the day when we do TVs, most of the time the guys have been working with each other at all the house shows throughout the week, and they kind of, they had their timing down, and you were used to that particular spot, and like I said, it's a timing thing of working with guys. So generally on TVs and pay-per-views, you've already been working with those guys back in the day. Now it's different with COVID. You work with whoever, until it starts back. But, that's how we did it back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. Very good. Awesome, man. Well, this was really good. I really enjoyed chatting with you. Really good story about Christian. That was really, really cool. By the way. Yeah, let some people know about Deep South Wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I started up Deep South Wrestling, and my first show, you can see it on the internet. It's for free. What I'm doing is I'm trying to put a shot. It's not going to be every month because of COVID, but it's going to be about every month and a half. I'm recording my next one here on the 14th. My first show has 4 single matches on it because I had 3 cancellations, and I took what I got, and I had a really good crew of guys. So I made my first one just 4 singles matches. But on my next one, I'm going to have a tag team match, and I'm going to have a ladies match. So if you check out deepsouthwrestling.com and click on to the link right there, it will show you. It starts off, I tried to give it a different look. I didn't want to start something and look like everybody else. So I don't really have announcers. I try to bring you into the room and into the ring with us. It's kind of a cross between a professional wrestling with a little bit of a Fight Club look to it.
Very nice. Once again, that's deepsouthwrestling.com. Go to deepsouthwrestling.com. This is my guy right here, man.
Thank you very much.
Right here. Yeah, I really appreciate this ride and hanging out with you, man. And check out deepsouthwrestling.com. You see it right there. He's Nick Patrick. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone, and you just heard the Inside Scoop. So long.